Today is November 30th, 2020, and you're watching and listening to the Bush League Bros podcast.
Hello, everybody. This is, I guess, Bush League Bros Sports Talk. For right now, I am still Brett Batchelder. We'll see how much longer I continue to exist. With me is my guy, Paul Liakis. And before I get too doom and gloom today, we did have a long holiday. We didn't come at you guys later or early on this weekend. We took some time off. I wasn't feeling great. But I want to talk about some good stuff. We had Thanksgiving. Paul, did you have a good Thanksgiving?
I did. I had to work on Thanksgiving, but that was okay.
What?
Yeah, I had an early meal. I had to work at night, but I had an early Thanksgiving meal with the immediate fam, social distancing, not spreading COVID over here. So I was being responsible. And
Proud of you, man.
Yeah, I've been eating Thanksgiving leftovers every day pretty much since.
That's over. They didn't last long at my house.
They didn't last long at your house. I think
Gone.
There's barely, because we did like a whole meal, but then there was only 3 of us, so there's like still some remnants left. Probably crush a turkey Sam today.
Yeah, I felt like I came home with like 10 pounds of food, and it's already been digested. Yesterday, getting back into the cardio was a pretty tough day.
Yeah.
Did not feel great.
Are you in the boat? Like, I forget every year, like that. So obviously the feeling like after the Thanksgiving meal, you're like, oh, like, which is normal, tryptophan,
Sure.
you just ate like 6,000 calories in one sitting usually.
Yep. Glorious calories.
Exactly. So that's normal. But I mean, I always forget about like the like couple days after. I feel like your body is just recovering from the spike in like blood sugar from the gravy or whatever it may be. God damn it, dude.
Is that your personal in-home cell phone?
That's my personal in-home cell phone.
Yep.
AKA a landline phone.
Yep. There it is.
Just
awesome.
That's the worst thing, dude, is you can't mute it. It just rings out of nowhere, dude.
Freaking telemarketers. They knew you were on. They were just trying to get some clout. That's all right. But yeah, no, like I feel like that Thanksgiving, especially now when like I try to be responsible with what I eat, and I think that might have been what made me feel like crap, because I texted you Friday morning. I was like, there's no way this is going to happen anytime soon.
Yeah.
I had a great Thanksgiving outside of the depressing things we'll talk about here in a second. But I almost felt a little bad. I felt like, I don't encourage my father to watch this program because, he's a youth pastor. He's a decent human being. I mean, not so much, Very contrasting styles. But it felt like he watched every part of my demands in that last episode.
Nice.
Because there was the cranberry bread that I demanded to be taken home. There were the legs ready. They had everything that I needed. And I'm like, man, last year we didn't do cranberry bread because my grandmother, she can't make it anymore.
Mm-hmm.
So I wasn't really expecting cranberry bread this year. But for the first time, he had his wife make up some delicious cranberry bread. I'm like,
There you go.
There you go. This is working out for me, but when is this going to bite me in the ass? That's what I need to know. When is he going to bring up something that's happened on this podcast at an inopportune time? But yeah, it was a great time.
I'm sure it'll happen. Yeah.
Yeah,
we'll
and you know what?
There.
I am what I am. That's Popeye, but, we're going to do what we're going to do.
I know. That was probably the one benefit of me, like, not getting with my whole family, because, like, I'm, like, friends with all them on Facebook, and I'm sure they've watched at least some of these so far. And it would have been like, why'd you say this on the podcast? Like,
because I did.
Yeah, because I did. That probably would be similar to my answer.
Yeah.
Because,
it's life.
I said it. Yeah.
Yeah. Said it. No take backsies, and we move on.
No take backsies. Yeah.
No take backsies. Double stampsies. But any other closing thoughts on Thanksgiving or any stories that you wanted to share from your Thanksgiving time before I really bring the mood down?
No, go ahead. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, was a brutal Thanksgiving for me, outside of the family time, outside of the delicious meal. I came on this last episode and I was so hyped up. I felt like even though the Dallas Cowboys are a trash team with a trash head coach and trash players, that we should still win this division because all the other teams are trash. There was no way we would lose to a team without a name. We can't lose to the R words twice in a season. It doesn't happen. It's never happened. I mean, I'm sure it's happened in the past, but who can remember when? I surely can't. And of course, we get blown out. What was it, 41-17 or something like that, with arguably the worst fake punt as far as logical, like when you're going to do a fake punt in the history of the NFL. And I even go back to, the Colts when they played the Patriots, your team, when they put Pat McAfee basically out there all by himself to get destroyed. This, I would argue, was a worse play design than whatever the hell Chuck Pagano and the Colts were thinking on that fake punt. Did not make sense. Game over. I try to be a decent person around my dad. Didn't happen. Couldn't hold in the frustration. I'm just saying things left and right. And I had an epiphany on the drive home, because I was bumping some country music on the ride home. I'm not a big country music guy, but I was listening to a band called Midland. I don't know if you ever heard of Midland. You're not a Florida guy. Yeah, not a big country guy, I would assume. No. And that's fine. It's a Southern thing. I'm a Southern guy, allegedly, born in Florida, so I'm kind of in the South. Yeah. But we're really not. I don't know. Geography and the South aren't really related, if you get my meaning. Yeah. You probably do because you lived in Florida.
Yeah, I kind of get it. Yeah.
So, a lot of guys are driven to country music. A lot of people say, oh, country music, it's sad. It's all about heartbreak and your pickup truck and your dog dying. And sure, there are, there's truth to that. And for me, I never liked country music until I started working at FedEx at 2:00 in the morning, because really I just needed some music on to get me safely while I was driving that early in the morning. And hip hop and rock and roll were just too noisy. So I would put on country, would never hear any of the words. So I never really, I don't know what the hell's going on, but it was some music to keep me from passing out behind the wheel on I-4, which is never a good idea. But all of a sudden, I'm listening to this Midland, it's not a new album, it's their last album, whatever. I liked one of their songs that I heard, and so I was like, let me listen to the whole album on the way home. And I started relating to it. And a lot of guys relate to country music because of, their experience with women. Whether, we're all guys, we all have experience, whether it's losing out on, your great white buffalo, buffalo, or whether a girl cheated on you, lied to you, you got strung along, just whatever heartbreak you've experienced. That's for a lot of guys, especially in the South, they start, to flock towards the old country music. And, I've experienced some of these things. Every guy's experienced heartbreak with the ladies. But for me, I really started to sit there driving in my pickup truck on the way home from my dad's house.
Yeah.
Listening to two songs here that just country music all of a sudden made sense. Okay. Yeah. And it wasn't because of women. Yeah. Women, you are what you are. You've broken my heart. It's fine. I'm still standing. But nothing has broken my heart quite like the Dallas Cowboys historically. So I'm going to go over two songs here real quick. I'm not going to sing them. This is going to be kind of like a little poetry session here. I'm going to read some excerpts from two different songs. I'm going to relate them to what my thoughts were at the time. All right? Are you ready for this?
Yep.
All right. So the first one is from their song Out of Sight. And it's about how I guess this girl broke up with him, but he keeps seeing her everywhere he goes, but he's not really seeing her. You know what I mean? So it goes, she's gone, never coming back, so gone. The train went off the track. You're already getting Dallas Cowboy parallels right here. I know it. And then he goes on to say, so long, that's the way it goes, so gone. And everybody knows that I'm going crazy one night at a time. This is still making a lot of sense right here. So I'm going crazy one night at a time. She's out of sight, and I'm out of my mind. Which basically means, this relates, Dallas Cowboy fans, we're delusional, right? We thought the division was in sight. We thought the playoffs were in sight. In reality, we're just seeing things, and we're, quite honestly, we're out of our minds, all right? Cowboy Nation. We're America's team. We've got a lot to be happy about, historically, this is not one of those times, guys.
Mm-hmm.
It hurts. I think I had tears going down. Like, I was just crying. Goodbye, division. Goodbye, playoffs. The R words could win this division. And it was heartbreaking, okay? So that was step one, all right? Really starting to come on to this, country music. Like, I'm getting it now, right? I'm really getting country music. It's sinking in.
Yeah.
So then a couple minutes later, this other song comes on, and it's This Old Heart. And this really relates to me about, what it's like being a Dallas Cowboy fan and the pain that it feels, especially this year, all right? So here we go. All right, so this old heart's been kicked around. This old heart's had all it can take. It needs a little less wrecking and a lot more affection. Some loving and a little less ache. This old heart needs a break. And that is what every single Dallas Cowboy fan's heart needs right now, a break from the pain that is the incompetency of this franchise, of the evil emperor Jerry Jones, of Mike McCarthy and his goddamn watermelons. I wanted to come on here and, laugh about the watermelons and the sledgehammers and yell at Skip Bayless and Shannon Sharp for calling Cowboys a racist for doing watermelon stuff. I wanted to go on here and yell at those people and enjoy 2 back-to-back victories. I don't get to do that. Instead, I'm sitting here wondering, damn, Zeke got paid $90+ million, and he's got 5 lost fumbles this season. How can I get that gig? I can give you 5 fumbles for $90 million.
Yeah.
What do I got to do this? I mean, I don't even, I'm breaking down right now mentally, so I'm going to stop it right there.
Okay.
It's been a very frustrating weekend for me as far as football. That's why you see I'm all gatored up. Mm-hmm. It's all I've got here. It's all I can think about. And if I didn't have the Gators, I don't even know where I'd be, man. But it's been painful. And I hope I taught everybody there a little bit of the inside of not only what country music is all about, but what it's about to be a Dallas Cowboy fan. And that's where I'm at.
So yeah, I mean, not quite sure how to respond to all of that.
I mean, what more can you say?
Yeah.
Midland said it all,
Midland said it all, apparently.
Said it all.
I guess I'm learning a little bit. I'm not a big country music guy. I thought that the male versions were like my pickup truck and my beer.
There's plenty of pickup trucks and beers, but that's for good times.
My dog hops in the cab of my truck and we drink beers while we drive.
Yeah, a little Budweisers. Sure. Absolutely.
But then I guess like we go and cry about a girl too because she left me, and in Brett's scenario, that girl was the Dallas Cowboys.
And look, there's been plenty of women to break this old heart right here, but nothing has broken my heart like the Dallas Cowboys. And
it's a good analogy.
How I learned to resonate with country music this weekend. So
I feel like
for me,
your next step is you're gonna be probably like one of the only country songs I really know is that what's the Shania Twain song where isn't it Shania Twain?
I feel like a woman.
No, isn't she do the one where she
Let's go, girls
talks about like fucking up the dude's car? What's that? Is that Shania Twain?
Talking about Carrie Underwood, where she's talking about key in the car or whatever.
Nah, that's Carrie. That's not Shania Twain.
Come on now, Carrie Underwood, show some respect. You see her every Sunday night. Come on, man.
I don't know who sung that song. I'm just Shania Twain's like the only.
That song is like about Tony Romo, I'm pretty sure, because it came out right after Tony Romo broke up with Carrie Underwood.
Well, more Dallas Cowboy correlation.
It all comes back to country music. It's
pretty soon. So the point was pretty soon, like that will be you. Like I don't know what you'll do. I mean,
I'm not gonna go fly to Dallas to key anybody's car.
You might. You never know, man.
You know what?
That's the next step in your country music.
Zeke,
evolution.
Keep your eyes open, pal.
Yeah,
sick of your fumbling.
Zeke's
threatening a guy that could kick my. Like, what am I doing here?
So, I'm sorry to hear
you're
going through tough times.
You wanted this. You said on the last episode you were so happy. My hopes were high, and you just wanted to see him crushed, and you got what you wanted. So congratulations.
You know what the best part is too is like.
Same as the best part. What an ass.
Is that this can just continue through then? Like it's not over.
Done.
It's not over. No, it's not.
No, I'm done.
They could win next week. Everyone else in the
we play the Ravens next week. We're not beating the Ravens.
I mean, they might all still have COVID at that point.
even with COVID, they're a better and more competent football team than the Dallas Cowboys.
True. So speaking of, are the Ravens back to your team?
I don't want to do that to them. Everything I touch just dies in my hands. So,
all right.
And I'm sure there's a country song about that. But do you want to talk about your Patriots? Let's get the gloat.
So
while I'm down, just gloat.
Speaking of our team 1A and then team 1B, well, mine is technically the Bucs still, even though they're not doing that great. But my team 1C, I think we would admit from this podcast, was the Cardinals.
You love Kyler Murray.
So I love Kyler Murray. So it was the Cardinals versus the Patriots yesterday. My Patriots were able to pull that game out. I mean, both teams felt like they deserved to lose that game at certain points. It was nice to see a Patriots win. It always is. But it leaves me thinking, are the Patriots good or are the Cardinals frauds because the Patriots are not good? I'm going to go with the Patriots are good. Yeah.
The Patriots are not good. What do you have? I don't know if you have them open, but would you care to read Cam Newton's stat line for yesterday?
I don't have it open.
Didn't he have 83 yards passing and 2 interceptions?
It was 82 yards and 2 picks. Yeah.
Patriots are not a good football team.
They are not a good football team.
The Arizona Cardinals. If I am right about 2 things all year, it will be the Jets go 0-16. And the Cardinals are not for real. I've been anti-Cardinals all year.
Okay.
Can't stand this Kyler Murray hype train. It's a bunch of nonsense.
Yeah. I still think the Cardinals are with it. For real-ish. I still think they make the playoffs.
I mean, they're still kind of in it right now, I think. Yeah. I think they're still in.
Yeah. What are they?
7-5.
7-5, yeah. I still think they got a shot at the playoffs. I still think Kyler Murray's legit. It's just, I mean, when you face Bill Belichick and he's throwing game plans at you, it is what it is. I mean, and as much as the Patriots, as much as they are not a good team this year, they're likely not going to make the playoffs unless some COVID miracle happens, right? Where the Ravens
sounds unfair, so it's probably going to happen.
Yeah, exactly. So, but I mean, you got to admit that that roster is garbage.
Oh, they're 6-5. Cardinals are 6-5. Sorry.
Yeah, that roster is garbage compared to some of the other rosters Bill Belichick's had over the years. I mean, you can argue he's had some of the best rosters in football certain years and other years. You know what I mean? Even when he didn't, they were still a top 10 team in terms of roster talent. I would say this year you would have to say they're easily in the bottom 5 to 10 of worst overall talent on their team, and he's still eking out wins.
I mean, I'd give you bottom 10. I mean, you think you have a worse roster than the Bengals, the Jets, the Jaguars, the R words, the Giants? I mean, you got a better team than them.
Okay.
But top 10, I'd give you top
bottom
10.
10.
Definitely bottom. You definitely bottom
5.
Sure.
Yeah. Bottom 5 is pretty bad. Yeah.
Yeah.
But it really sucks, dude, that we lost that. We would be 6-5 right now if we hadn't lost to the goddamn Texans last week, and I think we would be right in the thick of it in terms of the playoff.
It would be a game back from the playoffs, I do believe. Yeah.
So I don't know. It's weird, man. It's weird to think I've never been in this position where I'm like, man, I hope my team gets a wild card. I haven't been like that, and
right here, buddy.
I haven't been like that in 20 years.
This is on behalf of everybody that's not a Patriots fan, right here.
Man, I hope we get the wild card.
Yeah.
I hope
nobody wants to hear your shit. All right.
I hope we can play the Saturday afternoon game. So I mean, it's we'll see. We'll see. There's still a chance. Already. It's like that meme, man. So you're saying there's a chance.
You're telling me there's a chance.
Yeah, and that's all I need. All right.
Let's do some quick updates that happened before Football Sunday happened yesterday. We are recording on Monday morning. The Lions are the next team after the Texans to fire a coach in season. Somehow 2 teams have fired their head coach before the New York Jets. Doesn't make any sense to me. Yeah. But Matt Patricia out in Detroit, as is GM Bob Quinn. Mm-hmm. Any qualms with this? This makes sense, right? Pretty quick and easy.
It had to happen.
Yeah, right. They stink. They're terrible.
It's just, He clearly he never had like the gusto to be a head coach. I think some guys, a lot of guys are good coordinators in this league that it's
here we go. Now we got to defend him a little bit because he's a Patriot. Blah,
it's a different type of breed to be a good head coach.
Jesus Christ.
I think we've seen like Vrabel has been successful-ish because he's I think he can like relate to the players a little bit more. But the thing with Patricia is I think he went to the Lions, and especially early on, there was all these stories of how he was like, all the guys hated him because he was like doing Bill Belichick.
He wanted to be Belichick.
Making him practice outside in the snow in like the middle of fucking December for like no reason. Like they're already like out of the playoff hunt, like, or, just stupid shit. And shit that like you can't get away with if you're not Bill Belichick. So, not surprised. I mean, it's not shocking news at all. My question when I heard that is, will we see Matt Patricia back on the Patriots coaching staff here soon?
Of course we will. Yeah. Absolutely. That's what happens, and he'll do fine, and the defense will turn around, and something's going to happen, and I'm pissed off about it. Yep. But good for Detroit fans. I really did you see that they are donating to Deshaun Watson's charity? Detroit fans are, because he got their head coach fired. Did you see this?
I did not.
Awesome. The NFL is an amazing community of human beings. I think it's electric. And then other big stuff, Broncos, all their QBs had COVID, so none of them could play. That's crazy. They had to pull up Kendall Hilton, a wide receiver on the practice squad, to play quarterback. You can imagine how good that went. They lost to the Saints 31-3.
He was like 1 for 9, wasn't he? Yeah.
Yeah. How do you have all 3 quarterbacks get COVID or be in contact with COVID?
Yeah, you would think with whatever.
Shouldn't one be separate?
Exactly. Whatever COVID protocols there are, that it would be advisable not to just have all of them like chilling in the same room, giving each other COVID. So that was nuts, dude. And it makes you like it's very strange. Like, did the NFL let this game go on because? So there was some reports that like they fucked up and like they weren't wearing masks around each other, right? And I don't know. I heard, did the NFL make them play as like a punishment for that, or was this because
that's what the safety thought? The safety said this felt like punishment from the NFL,
was it because this is where it gets weird, right? Is because this Steelers-Ravens game has been pushed back twice now because basically, the whole Ravens, half the Ravens.
There's no Thursday night football game this week now because of it.
So, is it more because that game is actually important in terms of the playoff race and like that game means something? So they want the Ravens to be as healthy as possible, and the Broncos, the Broncos aren't going to make the playoffs. Like let's just let them play and lose anyway, because they were probably going to lose that game anyway. It's just gets weird with that, right? Like there's no, like how is, I mean, I guess maybe just.
Are you telling me that the NFL is ruling in an unfair and inconsistent manner?
That is exactly.
And you want me to be surprised by this?
Yeah.
Let's go back to 2017 and let's talk about Ezekiel Elliott. All right. I mean, we can do this all day. I mean, tell me Roger Goodell isn't fair and balanced like Fox News?
Yeah. I'm not sure. He might not be.
Interesting.
After years of
learn something new every day.
After years of determinations, he may not be fair and balanced. Yeah. Is he even making the calls on these though? He's like, I feel like he's been in like the shadows all year.
That's what they do, Yeah. I mean, everyone's in the shadows. It's COVID year. He can't go out and do anything, or he'll be chastised, or he might run into El Presidente of Barstool, Dave Portnoy, and have an uncomfortable conversation about how he wouldn't let him in the man cave.
Yeah.
I don't know. Roger Goodell, I don't even know if he's a human being at this point.
No, he's a robot.
South Park, they had him as a robot, and, I think that could be very close to the truth,
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
So anyway, talked enough about the Broncos, talked enough about Roger Goodell. Let's talk about a state that I don't ever want to go to, although I'm sure I will somehow. California, not a big fan. And it's for stuff like this. The county or city of Santa Clara, they hate football. So for the next 3 weeks, they have banned any contact sports. And this screws over anyone that plays in that area. So now the NFL has to scramble to figure out where the 49ers are going to play for the next 3 weeks.
Yep.
I don't remember how many of those were going to be home games in there.
Mm-hmm.
And I think LA was outside of Santa Clara. I could be – someone feel free to tell me that I'm wrong in the comments. But I'm pretty sure the 49ers were the only home team affected by this.
Yeah. So
now they got to scramble around.
Your geography's
wrong. Is LA in Santa Clara?
No, LA is like –
That's what I said. I said I don't think they're affected. I think the 49ers were the only ones that were affected.
Southern California, Santa Clara is like more Northern California. Yeah.
So I was right. So I'm not off.
Yeah.
I said I don't think, but I don't know. I never.
You're right.
I don't go to Hippieville. I mean, you can go there. It's fine. You know. Ugh. Have fun with all the pedophiles in Hollywood. Boom, roasted. Got them. Anyway, we're not going into that right now. I mean, I just think this is a little ridiculous. These are adults. If they can follow COVID protocol, why can't they've been doing it all year? What is this 3 weeks of 120 people maybe on the field at one given time? What is this going to do to stop the super spreaders or anything like that?
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense. I get like you can kind of mandate no fans in the stands, but yeah, this seems a little over the top. Because it's not like the NFL. I haven't heard of a huge outbreak with the 49ers. So it just feels, like this is a little excessive, and then, just throwing another wrench. I mean, the NFL though, dude, to their credit, I don't know, man, I don't know if we're going to make it through like the next few weeks here without a game like officially being canceled and like losing a game.
It's getting tough.
To their credit, if they get this Ravens game on Tuesday night played, and then you know what I mean? Like everything kind of gets back on track after that. Who knows if that will happen, right? But if it were to, I mean, the fact that they have not had a team have to like forfeit a game or cancel one
pretty surprising.
It's pretty nuts, dude. Yeah,
look at college football.
Exactly.
Them all day.
So, I mean, and granted, like the NFL is really just like next man up. We don't really care, but it's impressive. But yeah, for them to just ban contact sports, I get this at like the youth level, I guess. Right, I get that.
Sure, but that's why if consenting adults are willing to go do this and they can follow the protocols, why can't they play foot? They've been doing it. This is week 12 now. Supposed to be weeks 13, 14, and 15, I believe. What's the difference between weeks 1 through 12 and these next 3 weeks as opposed to anything else? I know
exactly.
I don't know if California's had a boom in cases, but I don't think 3 football games at maximum. I don't even think they have 3 straight home games, so maybe 2.
Yeah.
Is going to cause a super spread of COVID, even though COVID's cured apparently already. And I don't know.
Exactly. It is. Yeah.
I don't know. It's nonsense. And I'm just going to get angry thinking about it. So I want to know if you had was there anything from the games that were played yesterday that really stood out to you?
Not too much. Like I said, it felt like a weird week. It felt like this whole week was kind of like overshadowed by all this like COVID stuff going on and whatever. I will say, I mean, the Chiefs-Bucks game just –
Tyreek Hill, baby.
Tyreek Hill is fucking
was that
monster,
263 yards and 3 touchdowns?
Yeah, and most of it happened in like 1 quarter, right?
Yeah, and I played him in one of my fantasy leagues. RIP.
Yeah, that was the running joke yesterday. It's like if you played Tyreek Hill in your fantasy league, you made sure you told someone. Yeah.
Yep. Well, I didn't tell anyone until right now, but I will be. Whatever.
No,
whatever.
I know. Life. Yeah, I'm still out on fantasy football. Like I've been setting my roster, but I
have winning records in all leagues. But fantasy, man, I retired for a reason. It gets so frustrating.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
and I might retire. I am back, and
I can't retire.
Retirement's nice.
I can't retire on a low note though. Like I'm literally in like last place in my league, so
that is quite embarrassing.
Yeah, I gotta at least have like a respectable finish. I don't have to win because I might not ever be able to quit fantasy football then if I have to
What are you talking about? You go out like Elway. You win the title and just peace out.
but then we're talking. I might have to do who knows when that's going to happen. I might have to do it for the next 50
years.
Yeah,
you're saying if you play until you win, you may never stop playing. I got
exactly. You. I'll take a top 3 finish, and then I think I'll be good to retire. Yeah,
bow out respectively. I like that. I like that a lot. But yeah, I mean, this was a weird Sunday. I know there wasn't a lot of great games.
No, yeah. A lot of wonky games, yeah.
Yeah, well, I mean, COVID kind of wrecked the Broncos-Saints game. Mm-hmm. The Browns eked one out against the Jaguars. The Rams lost to the 49ers. Yep. The Sunday Night Football game stunk, although thank you, Aaron Rodgers, for the fantasy points.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm looking here just trying to refresh myself. I don't see anything that was overly exciting. Oh, here's one. Raiders, what in the hell are you doing losing 43-6 to the Atlanta Falcons? That's embarrassing.
Yeah.
These guys were poised for a playoff run. Now they're sitting there 6-5.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I feel like I've been giving them props all year.
It's not shocking that happened, though, right?
What am I hearing right there?
I don't know.
Oh, my God. Yeah. Your house is chaos.
Yeah.
But, I mean, it is 43-6. Mm-hmm. I never thought they would beat the Chiefs in their division. Anyone who thought that's a lunatic. But, they deserve to be a wild card team. Now I'm sitting here like, maybe you don't. You can't lose to the Falcons like that. Mm-hmm. They stink.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is I can't really say as much as I've, been attesting that I think that they're the real deal. I think they're clearly their
quarterback stinks. Boom.
Yeah, they're clearly somewhat fraudulent too, and I'm not surprised that this happened, that they would lose to the lowly Atlanta Falcons. So it just is what it is. Yeah.
It is what it is. Good call right there. Let's pick our Monday Night Football game here, shall we? We've already picked the Tuesday night game technically because we both we picked the Baltimore and the Steelers game on the last episode because we thought it was going to be played on Thanksgiving. Turns out not so much. That'll be Tuesday. Let's pick Monday Night Football. There is no Thursday Night Football game because Baltimore was scheduled to play on Thursday night. Now they play Monday night against my team. They'll win.
Tuesday, I think.
No. They play this Tuesday, then they play next Monday.
Play the next Monday.
Yeah. And they've been correct. They went from Thursday to Monday for next week. So we'll see if it all even happens. Everyone's got the COVID over there in Baltimore. Mm-hmm. Monday Night Football, though, tonight we have the Seattle Seahawks versus the Philadelphia Trash People.
Yep.
It's in Philly. The Seahawks are minus 6-point favorites. I'll tell you right now, I'll take the Seahawks and the points all day. DK Metcalf, go get me some more fantasy points just to help me in the standings, please and thank you. What do you got?
I mean, you kind of got to roll with the Seahawks, right? I mean, even though haven't played as great of late, I don't know. They're talking about that. What's his name is going to play instead of Wentz.
Jalen Hurts did get first team reps this week.
Yep. Yeah. So. Yeah, I can't imagine he can play that much better than Carson Wentz. So I'm gonna roll with the Seahawks too with the points.
Taking the points, okay, cool. Look at that. All right, and we were 1-on-1 on Thanksgiving. I'll get the updated records for the next episode. You picked the Cowboys game right. I picked the Houston-Detroit game right. Let's go over to college football here, shall we? Just a couple quick notes, and then I have a topic that I just want to talk about real quick. Get your thoughts on.
Yeah.
So we're all trying to gear up here. College football somehow coming to a close. A lot of these teams look like they're going to get their full schedules in.
Yep.
Alabama, Notre Dame, Clemson, Texas A&M, and my Florida Gators all in the top 6. They won this weekend.
Yep.
Keeping their playoff hopes alive. Number 8 Northwestern, who was undefeated and was one of those outside hopefuls to get into the college playoffs. They lost to Michigan State. They're out of playoff contention. Little embarrassing considering Michigan State was unranked and under 500. But none of this is really important to me. The thing that's important is what's going on in the Big Ten and what's going on with Ohio State. Ohio State, people have them ranked 3 or 4, and I think rightfully so talent-wise.
Yeah.
But up to this point, they've had multiple games canceled. They've only played 4 games.
Yep.
and they're only scheduled to play 2 more times officially in the regular season, and then assuming they win both of those games, they would get to play in the Big Ten championship game.
Yeah.
So they've got Michigan State and Michigan left, and then potentially I don't see them losing to either of those two teams. If they get to play, they would play in the Big Ten championship. If they get to 7 games, or even if they don't get to 7 games, what do you think about them being allowed in the college playoffs, not playing a full schedule? And you'll have other teams. They could potentially play 5 games this season or 6 games, when other teams are playing 9 to 11 games to get in the college playoffs. Do you think they deserve a shot still?
It's tough to say, man. I mean, if they run the table and they're Big Ten champs, it almost
you're good if they get to 7-0.
Yeah, like if they run the table, if they can play these next 2 games and be Big Ten champs, I think you have to put them in, because it's fraudulent to have a college playoff without them. We'll have to listen to Ohio State fans just say how this is the fraud season that doesn't count and Like, I mean, they bitch every year when they don't make the fucking
That's
lose.
True, and it's kind of fun to listen to.
When they lose to Purdue and then they don't make the college football playoffs.
Yeah,
you know,
I enjoy that.
They'll still
it's one of my favorite parts of the year.
So maybe you're right. Yeah, maybe the best thing that we could hope for is that they get robbed and aren't in it, because we'll get to see Ohio State fans have a meltdown. So that I'll look forward to that. But I think everyone knows that Ohio State's one of the best 4 teams in the country, especially if they win these next 2 games, win the Big Ten championship. I mean, it comes down to how, the SEC and the ACC have really kind of taken more of a NFL approach to like how they're dealing with COVID. Like, they're like, we're going to play these games no matter what. And these, the Big Ten almost didn't play their season. Started took too long, and it's showing here like that. That there might be some consequences to that. So,
well, I think if they get to 7-0, I'm good with them being in the play, because I do think from a talent standpoint, they are clearly one of the 4 most talented teams in college football.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Whether people think they deserved it based on the schedule they played or not, I mean, Justin Fields, that defense, they're a good team.
Yeah.
I think if they get another game canceled, I don't think you can 6 games compared to 10 or 11. I don't think you can put them in. Yeah. But an easy way to fix this is the year of COVID. This is the year to shake things up. We've already seen the NBA shake up their playoff format.
Yeah.
And it looks like they're going to do it again this year, which is I'm okay with it.
Yeah.
We've already seen I said NBA. We saw Major League Baseball put in more playoff teams than ever.
Yep.
The NFL, they were going to do this anyway, but this is the first year they're saying, hey, we're going to start it a year early because of COVID. We're going to add 2 more playoff teams, 1 to each conference. All these major sporting leagues are doing it. Why not go to 18 playoff this year, even if it's just a one-time only to see how it works?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And then nobody's going to complain. Like, okay, let Ohio State go in. They're clearly one of the best. If they're not one of the best 4, they're definitely one of the best 8, regardless of how many games they got in.
Yeah.
Expand the playoffs and see what happens. And and that also gives more room for like Cincinnati and other teams that are non-Power 5 conferences that are undefeated.
Yeah.
I think this is an easy fix.
I think I know they're still trying to make money off like the bowl games, and they can still do that. Like, I think what they need to do is get
plenty of bowl games.
Yeah, but no, get it to 8 teams and like have one site where the first 4 play, like at one site, say like Arizona or something, and then in Florida the other 4 play, and then once, like, you know what I mean, they're isolated there, like kind of like a mini bubbles for all those teams, and then they have like a 2-week period before, or usually it's like a month period before between the semi and the actual finals. Usually like 2.5 weeks, right? It's like 2 weeks, I think.
Maybe it used to be. I don't
know.
think so anymore.
No, you're right. Yeah. Well, it's usually like New Year's Eve, and then it's like this January 11th or something.
Yeah.
Is the college football championship. So then, you have time. You can, have both those teams isolate for like 2 weeks before they play the national championship. That would be the smart way to do it. Absolutely. And this is the year, Yeah, throw
so
that
you're
in.
To do it.
We all want it anyway, and they've already been talking about doing it anyway. So,
I mean, how hard would it be to sell an additional round of college football playoff to people? I think that's super easy marketing. You can get, what is that? 2 more bowl games you'd have to do because you're getting 4 more teams in. Mm-hmm. So you could get 2 more big-time bowl games, name them or you could just say, all right, the first round is the 4 big bowl games, right? You have your Orange Bowl, your Rose Bowl, all the Fiesta Bowl, Yeehaw, and the Sugar Bowl. There's your round 1. Round 2, when you're down to 4 teams in 2 games, call it the semifinals and get a sponsorship. It's not like these people aren't going to pay out for a big – and then call it the National freaking Football Championship game. Like, it's not that difficult to figure out. You can please the sponsors. You can please the bowls. You're not going to lose any money. Yeah. You're going to get more TV revenue because people are going to want to watch this and see these new matchups that they've never seen before. I think it's an easy fix. NCAA, they're full of nonsense. I don't understand. I don't understand how they make decisions.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's wild. But I would love to see it. I think a lot of people would, especially this year. College football out of all the sports, maybe baseball is the only one that took more of a hit than them, right? Like,
I think college football's taking way more of a hit.
Yeah, in terms of
Florida State, I think it's been canceled 3 weeks in a row.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
Because especially with college football, they've lost so much in terms. Like, college football is even way more of a tailgate game day event thing than especially than baseball, but even the NFL, I would say, is
it's a much different environment.
Yeah, sure. Exactly. So let's do it. College football playoff, 8 teams.
We're moving to 8. We have decided here at Bush League Bros Sports Talk, Pauliakis right there and Brett Batchelder right here are putting it in writing.
Yes.
That it's time.
We've made the determination
to go from 4 to 8, and I think the people are for it, and I think everyone should listen to us, not only about this, but in all things. And the world will be a better place.
All things, yeah.
All things. Except when I pick football games, because apparently this year I don't know how to do it.
Bush League Bros 2028 or 2024? I think 2028, right? So
we will not be old enough in 2024 to hold political office.
So 2028.
By 2024, we will have the people clamoring for our presidential run.
Do we run for Senate in 2024?
No. We want to go in with no political experience,
That's true.
All gumption, nothing going on up here. We are now competing with Trump. We want to do it better.
Trump set the path. We don't need to be politicians beforehand. Yeah.
We're just going to come out here. We're going to spit our phenomenal ideas to the nation. Yeah. We're going to go, those two, outside of Brett and his inability to pick any kind of football game, those two know what the hell they're talking about.
Exactly.
I don't really like these guys. Let's get them up and going, and we're going to do that. And then we're going to take over the office. We're going to do it better than anyone's ever done it before.
Yep.
And we're going to change the world, baby. I'm excited about it.
2028.
2028. That's what we do.
If we make it there. Yeah.
If we make it there, which, again, if you guys heard me a little earlier in my crying and my country music, I'm not sure that this heart's going to take, 8 more seasons of Dallas Cowboy football, but we'll see. Yeah, we can dream. I don't know if I'll live past 32, but I'll give it the old college try here. Okay. Couple of blokes that did make it past, I'm Australian all of a sudden, that did make it past 32. They're actually in their 50s. They had a little fisticuff battle this weekend, a little boxing match. Did you get to catch it?
I did catch some of it,
Mike Tyson and Roy Jones Jr. boxing exhibition?
Exhibition, yeah. Keyword exhibition.
Did you like what you saw?
I did. They both look good for their age, man. I'm not going to sit here and say.
I think Tyson looked phenomenal.
Yeah, I think they both took it seriously. Roy Jones, like we had discussed, he's not really that far removed from boxing professionally. So
I think they said in one of the interviews it's only been like 3 or 4 years since he last boxed.
So, but for Tyson to come out, look that good, and clearly he won the fight.
Thank you. I was going to say, do you think it was a draw or not? I clearly thought he won the fight.
Yeah. I was hearing about all these rules going in, and that it kind of turned me off from I was really pumped for it, and then I was just kind of when I heard a bunch of these rules going in, and a lot of it they had to do, I guess, to pass the
California Athletic State Commission, yeah.
But what's hilarious about that is and we'll get to this in a second, but yeah, I'll have a little rant on the state commission because it's kind of ridiculous.
Go for it. Rant away.
So they let that fight. They put all these rules on that fight. Two guys that are professional boxers that no matter how long they haven't been in the ring, right? They know how to defend themselves in the rings at all times, right? Like,
I know where you're going.
And you put all these restrictions on that. But then fucking poor Nate Robinson, who
not poor Nate Robinson.
But no, not even poor him. But he shouldn't have been sanctioned to fight against.
I agree with that.
Like, I mean, Jake Paul, hate him all you want. The dude has been like training to be a boxer for like.
I'm not a fan, but I respect him. Yeah,
multiple years.
He whipped my ass in a boxing match.
Exactly.
No doubt about it.
So that's what I mean. Is like they sanctioned that and let him get knocked the fuck out, but then they were saying like there couldn't be knockouts in the Tyson fight, and it was, you know what I mean? There was all these like restrictions and rules in that fight. I don't know, man. Like, come on. I like the boxing commissions are a joke. That's basically
100%.
There's a reason why I think Dana White should take over boxing because I think.
Well, if COVID didn't happen, they would have already announced their Zuffa boxing and it would have been something. But I think there's a future there for sure.
Yeah, but he would be a much better commissioner if he ran it more like the UFC.
I think that's what's going to happen.
You know, they get the thing is even he can't really circumvent state boxing or state fighting commissions.
No, but he can go get a private island in Abu Dhabi and do whatever the hell he wants to do if they don't do what he wants. So
that's true. Yeah.
You know, Dana White will find a way. I think boxing, it was funny. I had my buddy.
Dana White for president? 2024?
I'm all for Dana White president 2024, unless that means UFC goes downhill. I don't want to sacrifice UFC. He better have someone. Maybe that's it.
What?
Maybe we become Dana White's little stooges, learn the fight game, how he does things, how he operates.
Take over
UFC while he's in office, and then we do the old switcheroo. Because after 4 years, he's like, I want to go back to the fight game. I know you guys have done a phenomenal job while I've been in office. Yeah. Here you go. I'm pushing you guys in. I'll take my company back, please, and thank you. I think we have a plan. I think we now have a plan to get into the White House.
You want to hear the ultimate? This would be like the ultimate like bro ticket 2024. Joe Rogan, Dana White 2024. They both
I'm all for it.
Yeah. I would vote for him probably. Yeah.
Yeah, you can get your psychedelics anywhere you wanted under that administration.
Psychedelics are absolutely legal. DMT is sold at every local corner store and no age restrictions.
And Dana White might ban these athletic commissions that are corrupt, you know? So we might get a lot done. I think this is a good idea. Again, this is why we need to be pushed to things, but, only time will tell. I did think as far as this fight went, I thought it was much better than I anticipated it being.
Yeah.
It was the only fight on this card that I watched in its entirety live. I didn't watch. I will talk about Nate Robinson and Jake Paul here in a minute. Yeah. But didn't watch any other ones live. Watched this one live. Super late. Apparently they were pulling all kinds of stupid concerts and stuff, dragging this main event out. But I liked the 2-minute rules. It kept it quick, kept it short.
Yeah.
I think 3 minutes might have benefited Tyson even more. But he's still, some of those body shots he was delivering, I don't want any part of. No, thank you. I would have dropped immediately. And, I thought it was a good fight. I want to see more. This made me want to see more Mike Tyson in whether it's exhibitions or he's not going for a heavyweight title. But if him and Holyfield had a rematch or something, if they did something more like that, I'm all in on watching more of this. I think it was a lot of fun. And I give them credit for pulling it off.
The only thing missing from this was that, and not that Roy Jones isn't a talented fighter and
they were never rivals. Great. So
they were never rivals in their prime. So I think that's what we really would have wanted to see. Would have made it better if it was him versus Holyfield. Even if he fought Lennox Lewis, I'm not sure did he ever fight Lennox Lewis in his prime? Or not in his prime,
he did fight 90s. Lennox Lewis. No,
he
fought Lennox Lewis in the early 2000s, I believe.
Yeah, he got fucked up, right? Yeah.
He got destroyed,
Yeah. So that would be a good one. I don't really know that anyone else, that he didn't really have many other rivals per se, right?
No, not
Is Buster Douglas still alive?
Absolutely not.
Is
I don't
he,
think he. I don't know. I have no idea, but I wouldn't want to see that. I don't need to see that ever again. But
I
that
don't
was
think
good.
Buster Douglas is in fighting shape. He wasn't really in fighting shape when he fought him in the 90s.
Sure was not. So that one, better than it had any business to be. The one that was an absolute joke was Jake Paul versus Nate Robinson.
Yeah.
Robinson took KO in the second round. And I really enjoyed NBA Twitter after this because they wanted nothing to do with Nate Robinson. Steph Curry one of the nicest guys in the NBA, clowns you out, punks you out like that, you're done. Stick a fork in him. Nate Robinson's come back to the NBA is never going to happen, and I don't think he's allowed back in that community.
Yeah, I mean, is this just further proof though? Like, NBA guys don't know how to fight. Like, we've seen it time and time again. Anytime there's an NBA fight, there's punches thrown, but no one ever lands, and no one ever like defends themselves properly in a fight. The only guy in the NBA that can like really fight is the guy that James Johnson, who was on Miami Heat for a lot of years. He just signed with the Mavericks. He's like actually like some like third degree black belt in like jiu-jitsu / taekwondo. I'm not sure exactly what, but that guy can like actually fight. But besides him, I don't really. Is there any other NBA players that you really think could hold their own in a real fight
against an actual fighter? No.
Yeah, I'd take Marcus Smart, and like I just think Marcus Smart would not like. He just wouldn't quit. Yeah, Marcus Smart. There's a few like real like tough guy. Like there's difference. Like everyone in the NBA wants to be a tough guy. Are we talking about a bar
fight or are we talking about a boxing match?
Exactly. Boxing matches are different. But back to this fight, I think that the main thing we saw, Nate Robinson does not know how to box. He's not a boxer.
No.
He's not been trained. Like the way he got knocked out, and even before that, like you could just tell that, I mean, he had some boxing training, but the boxing is these guys that are professional boxers, like that's what's so crazy about so many people think, oh, I could kick the shit out of you in like a fight or whatever, and like, oh, I could beat that guy up. Like you don't maybe like in street fights are completely different than boxing. But boxing is the sweet science for a reason. There's so much more that goes into actual just boxing than just like thinking you're a tough guy that can fight. And I think that's kind of what we saw in that fight, that Jake Paul might not even be a good boxer. He might not even be a good boxer, but he's just been training longer than Nate Robinson.
He knows what he's doing a lot more than
exactly.
Nate does.
So, and I mean, it's the equivalent of when, like, it was almost the equivalent, even though McGregor lasted longer against Mayweather. It's like kind of the equivalent.
It was way worse.
Yeah, it was way worse, but in terms of like that's what like the skill level difference. Like Mayweather was like just Mayweather's maybe the greatest boxer of all time.
Yeah.
So
greatest defensive boxer.
Yeah,
for sure.
And so like Jake Paul, who's been doing this for I don't know, like 3 years maybe now. Yeah, who knows how long he's like really been training at boxing. Like the difference between him and Nate Robinson maybe training for like 6 months for this fight is huge. It's a massive difference, and that's what we saw. Not a good look for Nate Robinson. Not a good look for NBA players.
Nope.
Yeah, they're never. Well, that's what I mean. Like, I don't think that they'll ever sanction him to like fight professionally again. Yeah,
should not. Mm-hmm. But I mean, that fight was just absolute dog crap. I didn't watch that one live. I saw that one.
Yeah.
While they were doing the concert and all that other crap they were doing until the main event, I was like, oh, I see it's on Twitter. Let me go back and watch it real quick because people,
it
was
brutal, dude. Yeah.
The best part of it, that entire joke of a bout, was Snoop Dogg.
Oh yeah,
Snoop Dogg singing hymnals, oh Lord, as Nate Robinson is getting knocked out, was absolutely phenomenal. I was a big fan. Some people were a little annoyed by Snoop Dogg's commentary, and they didn't like how he was saying, Oh, Mike Tyson and Roy Jones Jr. It's like my uncles fighting in the backyard during a barbecue. And
I mean, it kind of was, yeah.
That's exactly what it was. Some people
Yeah.
are like, well, those are two world champions. Everyone knows they're world champions, but they're in their 50s.
Yeah.
And they're swinging lights out right now.
Yeah.
Snoop Dogg was absolutely hilarious. I don't know how much of him that you caught, but I know he does like some stuff with, I think, Uriah Faber. He does some UFC commentary. I can't remember for what show where he does it.
Is it? I think it's
It's not the Contender Series, is it?
I thought it was the Contender Series.
It might be the Contender Series with Dana White.
Yeah,
it might be that one.
Yeah, so he's used to doing some commentating, and
he's hilarious.
He's the best, dude. It's
so good,
and it's as two guys that like go to school for like sports commentating and like sports broadcasting. I mean, I love it because it should be like this is the way like
it's different, right?
Yeah, the way whole, I think we would agree, like this whole uptight reaction, like this reaction commentary to sports. There's a reason like people hate the guys that do it professionally that are like some of the best, like Chris Collinsworth and Joe Buck. Like I'm not gonna like say that those guys aren't good, but there's a reason like people get annoyed with them and like a lot of people don't like them because simply for the fact that there's it's like once you've listened to someone over and over again for years on years, like those guys, it becomes like monotonous, right? Like you feel like you've heard them say the same thing over and over again, which you probably have, right? And I think that was the thing. Would Snoop Dogg continue to like be really good at this permanently? Who knows? Like, could he do football? Could he do other sports? I don't know.
I think the fight game is perfect for him because you don't necessarily, especially like fights like this, or if it is the Contender Series, if we're right on that.
Yeah.
I don't necessarily think I want to see, I would prefer Joe Rogan in, I think who I can't remember who he does it with, but DC and Bisbing. I prefer the guys that know the sport and can break it down as far as my color guys.
Yeah.
But for stuff like this and just for fun events, all-star events, give me Snoop Dogg pre-game or pre-season.
Yeah.
Give me all the Snoop Dogg-like commentating I can get all day, every day. This guy he was cracking me up. He was so good.
So on a side note to that, like with this kind of stuff, Tyson has talked about before this happened that like he wants to get involved in some sort of like Legends League, which would be similar stuff to this in all fields of sports. So like retired NBA guys, retired baseball players, whatever, like where it's like old legends like competing in sports like this again. Steroids are perfectly legal to do, you know what I mean? Shit like that. Like,
That's what I'm talking about. Let's
go. Would you be about that? Like, would you want to see, you joked about LeVar versus Michael one-on-one would draw a huge pay-per-view.
No.
But
hang on real quick. Have you heard what LeVar said on,
he's going to say
this guy's name, the tight end who used to play for the Broncos and the Ravens, who I can't stand?
Shannon Sharp?
Yeah. I think I'm never going to say his name again on the show because I'm done with him. But love him as a tight end, hate him as a personality. But did you hear what he said on that guy's show? He said, I wouldn't do it unless it was for $200 million on pay-per-view. Like, nobody is going to give you that kind of money. Clearly, you're saying that because you know you're going to get just absolute schooled.
Yeah.
And you know it'll never happen. So he's backing out. He's a piece of trash.
But I almost don't even, like, we know that Jordan would fucking.
Correct. But anyway, as you were going with your point.
I want to see, like, Jordan and, like, I don't know. Like, I almost said Magic, but, like, probably not Magic.
He's got some work to do if he's going to be entertaining to watch.
Some health complications to deal with. But maybe, all right, here's a good one. It would be tough, but like Reggie Miller, Larry Bird, 3-point contest today. And then
I'd watch that.
Yeah. It's tough.
It's
not like Jordan's in good shape either. So like maybe Jordan versus like
I don't know.
Charles Barkley.
I've seen recent clips of him schooling some current NBA players here with his mid-range, but on the beach, just doing MJ things. But I would watch a Legends League, sure. I mean
let's be honest. I think like people would pay pay-per-view to like watch Michael Jordan like shoot around in the gym.
I mean, I might illegally stream it allegedly on Twitter, but To each their own.
But anything Michael Jordan like decided to do on pay-per-view. But the thing about this, right, where Tyson, like, I think this starts opening the doors for us to like getting shit like that, if that makes sense, right?
Yeah, and I think, well, not only that, but we also this weekend, I don't have it on the rundown, but we also had the match 3 with Mickelson, Curry, Barkley, and Peyton Manning.
Yeah.
Also,
I didn't watch it, yeah.
It wasn't as good as the one with Tiger and Brady, but obviously that's a better dynamic in my opinion. I mean, but it was fun, and you get people, retired stars, doing that, or whatever sport that isn't, even if it's not their sport, going out there doing it. Who says it even needs to be pay-per-view? That TNT could do it, whoever. Yeah. There's a market out there to watch this, and I'd be all for it.
I mean, don't you think they missed out? Because we said, I don't know if we were doing this when the first one happened, but don't you think we missed out on?
We were not.
It should have been, when they did the last one, I said the next one should be Tiger, Phil, and Barkley and Shaq.
That would be electric. Shaq was on commentary for this one, and they did some fun stuff with it.
Yeah, it was fun. I saw some of those clips, and it was funny, right? But I want to see Shaq out.
What if it's Barkley and Jordan? Because those two are real tight.
Oh, maybe that's what I said last time, that it should be Barkley and Jordan. Yeah.
And the trash talk would be
but
real.
It would have to be one. So Jordan would have to be with, but Jordan's good at golf, dude.
Yeah, Jordan's unless they really show him on The Last Dance, try to edit it and make him look like he isn't good at golf.
No, but I don't know. I was listening to an interview, Ricky
the money
Fowler.
That would be gambled on that show.
Oh, it would be awesome. Well, that's what I mean. It would be electric television.
Yeah.
I don't think that any of this happens though. I don't think Michael Jordan is like he did The Last Dance and he sat down to do the interviews for that. But I don't know what makes us think that he's trying to be anywhere back in the public spotlight again. He's super good with.
He's doing stuff more in the community now and things like. He wouldn't need to be in the spotlight, but I'll watch him do a golf tournament. What are we talking about here?
No, but don't you think there's a part of Michael Jordan that's he's why he did The Last Dance. He probably had tons of editing control of went out. He definitely did about what went out in that documentary, right? We can agree to that, right? So to make him look even more of the there was nothing in that we didn't watch that and think, oh, Michael's less of the GOAT in our eyes. But
no, you had KD and LeBron coming out saying we're watching this, taking notes.
But I guess what I mean is he's a smart guy, and there was some stories in The Last Dance, but then other stories that were not in there, Michael Jordan, maybe a fucking asshole, right? To a lot of people.
Do whatever you want.
Yeah. But no, he can. He can, whatever. That's
you're Michael Jordan, you do whatever you want.
But I'm saying if he were to come out and be back in the public spotlight again, he can only hurt his legacy. I
don't know about that. I think I agree with your point that maybe he doesn't want to be in the spotlight. And I don't know how we ended up talking about Jordan on this episode. Classic. Not mad that we are though.
Yeah.
I think he spent 20 years being the most popular person on the planet.
Yeah.
Couldn't go anywhere without swarms of people. So if I was in that situation, I see two people at Walmart that I recognize. I want to stay inside for the next week and a half and not see anybody. I get that is why he would never want to be Mr. Public Eye or in the spotlight.
I think he's pretty good with his life of I wake up, I go play 36 holes of golf, I take my private jet to Charlotte for a couple meetings for my basketball team. I take my private
80 cigars a day.
Yeah, in my private jet. I take my private jet back to Florida that same night, wake up, play golf in the morning, and that's my life. Yeah, exactly. I think he's someone that's probably pretty content with that. He's not trying to be on TV. Yeah, he's not trying to do anything like that.
But I don't need to see him all the time, but he could do one of these matches. He doesn't have to be in that Legends League that you're talking about, but he could do.
No, yeah. I guess that's probably a better point. I'd rather see him do that and play in one of those golf matches. And maybe that's the next evolution. I think Tiger has to be in it. He probably would be I have to be on Tiger's team.
Yeah, Tiger, Phil.
Because he's not going to risk losing. He's going to want to be.
Well, Phil and Barkley are now the reigning champs because they beat Curry and Peyton. So it could be them against Phil and Michael. I think this is a great idea.
I think we got to get Romo on that at one point too, right?
I mean, I'll watch Tony Romo all day. Every day.
But I mean, he's actually really good at golf. So
we
got to get him on one of those. And
maybe get him and Aaron Rodgers.
I think that's how we bring golf back.
That's what I said when we were talking about this a long time ago. I was like, man, this makes golf so much more fun.
Yeah, not professional.
And it got
golfers.
me interested. I mean, I watched, the Masters and stuff, but give me athletes in other sports who can golf or are just so bad at it, like Charles.
Yeah,
that it's just fun to watch, and let's listen to the shit talk. And I think that's a winning idea.
Yeah. Okay.
So good. We're good with the Legends League. We're good with the match. Let's transition over here into our Barside conversations. Okay. This is what we. Did you have something else before we Barsided it up?
Just quick.
Oh, okay. Go for it.
Jake Paul calling out Conor McGregor.
That was next. Man. You're in my brain right now because that was going to be what I wanted to base this off of. So Jake Paul, the guy who did knock out Nate Robinson and put him in an eternity of hiding, he could never come out again. Use a nerd reference. He's like the Jedi after the Emperor had them all killed. Yoda had to go hide on Dagobah for a long time because he's just short and too scared to be seen in public. Nate Robinson, taller than me, but he's short, can't go back out in public. This is the same exact thing here.
Yeah.
After that fight, Jake Paul calls out Conor McGregor and Dylan Dennis, who's also a UFC fighter under the McGregor banner.
Yeah.
To a boxing match. And that got me thinking, one, I don't need to see that. Conor McGregor would kick his ass. It's just not even – I understand that Jake Paul's been training boxing for 3 years. Yeah. Conor technically was an amateur boxer before he was in the UFC and before he was, fighting in Ireland in MMA tournaments.
Yeah.
He would get his ass whipped. Don't need to see that. Don't care to see it. Conor McGregor will never agree to it because Conor can go get bigger money fighting real people because he's Conor McGregor. And he's about to go get the one. No, he's going to go get the 155 belt.
It's not happening anytime soon. That's
never is going to happen.
Never.
Conor McGregor is such a bigger star than Jake Paul. He wouldn't. Conor McGregor only wants to fight people above him or on his level. Not
you say that though. You say that.
I understand Jake the TikTok Paul, and the YouTube generation.
Jake Paul's huge to those kids. Yeah.
I understand he's huge to those kids. I get it. I understand. But what are his pay-per-view numbers compared to Conor McGregor's? Conor McGregor is not going to be with someone that's not going to make him pay-per-view revenue. Jake Paul, I don't care how much he's a star on YouTube or the old TikTok. If Jake Paul goes, and let's give Jake Paul some credit here.
Yeah.
Again, he could kick my ass in boxing. He might be able to kick my ass in real life. The dude's in great shape. I don't know.
Jake Paul has to beat a professional fighter before
Correct.
that.
Once if he keeps going and he starts fighting real competition and gets better and builds a name for himself, which he can do. He's only 23 years old. Mm-hmm. He's got it all ahead of him. I have no doubt that he can do it. But unless he does that, if he just stays a YouTube star who beats up celebrities every once in a while, the McGregor thing's never going to happen. But the call-out did get me thinking.
Yeah.
I want to know, and that's going to be the basis, that call-out's going to be the basis of these Barside conversations. I want to know what celebrity you want to see get demolished, whether it's in a boxing ring or an octagon, and by whom?
Oh man, I mean, I got there's like a few different ones I got here.
Give me a few. I'll take
the first one. I had said this was during the election was we just should have had Trump versus Biden, octagon to the death.
Yeah, but that's two celebrities. I want to see a celebrity versus someone real.
Celebrity versus I
mean, keep going. I mean, yeah, we've talked about that one. Sure.
Yeah. I'd like to see LeBron get into the octagon.
Against.
So he'd have to go heavyweight.
Come on.
Francis Ngannou.
No, come on. He would die. I don't want to see LeBron die. Come on. The obvious match is him versus Covington.
That's true, yeah. But it's such
do a catch weight.
Disadvantage, yeah.
It doesn't matter. Covington would still wipe the floor with him. I don't want to see it.
Mm.
That was my pick. I want to see Covington and LeBron.
That is a good one. And I guess all right. Let me think outside of that was like my pick, but let me think outside of like the professional athlete world, like someone that we would want to see. I guess I don't know. I'd like to see The Rock fight someone like The Rock versus like Brock Lesnar. That would be a fucking huge fight.
Brock would kill him in a real fight.
Yeah, but
you hate The Rock? You want to see The Rock get demolished?
I don't.
When did it become an anti-Rock show here? I said, who do you want to see get demolished and by whom? And you go, I want to see The Rock and Brock Lesnar. What are we doing?
Yeah, no, yeah. It's got to be who do I hate that's like a viral celebrity. That would be a good one. I mean, God, you spit out a couple. Let me think here.
You ready for this?
Yeah.
Alex Jones versus John Jones, baby. Let's go. Let's get this done. Two guys who have allegedly done their fair share of drugs.
Yeah.
One's clearly on one side of the fence. One's on the other side with his gay frogs. And I want to see him get the piss beat out of him by a legend in John Jones. I don't care if it's heavyweight. I don't care if it's light heavyweight. That's mine. I just think it would be or
okay.
I want to see Ben Shapiro against any MMA fighter ever just to shut him up. And I know I'm picking two right-wing guys. I'm sure I could pick. Give me Rachel Maddow versus Amanda Nunes. There you go. I mean, I'd watch that too. You know, just these annoying political people that push their views on everybody.
Alex
crush.
AOC versus Ronda Rousey. Yeah.
I mean, I hate both. I don't like Ronda either. AOC and Rachel Maddow versus Amanda Nunes at the same time, handicap match in the octagon.
Yeah, that would be good.
I mean, you could put her against Kat Zingano. There's plenty of women that could whip her ass. But yeah, I mean, those would be. I was thinking more of those crazy politic people. Those are the ones I want to see. Maybe it's because we're coming off election season. I just want to see them all get their ass kicked because they're all
We're
making decisions for us, and I'm absolute sick of these little pansies running this country. But whatever. What about? Do you have any others that you wanted?
If I think of another one, I'll
Okay.
I know why I thought LeBron. Like I just thought like I was thinking
that's
like,
one that
Yeah, I guess I would like to see him get like knocked out, but I don't want to see him get like hurt. You're right.
Yeah, you want to put him against Ngannou and get him killed. Oh my God.
Yeah,
I mean, we are clearly Team Jordan here. I mean, I got even a Gator Jordan tee on right now, but I ain't trying to get the guy killed. He's done some good things in this country. He's a good guy.
Professional fighters don't walk out of the ring with Francis Ngannou, so
correct. Yeah, this guy gets clot cleaned.
Yeah.
If he survived, he'd be a potato or a vegetable. Or I don't want to see.
Yeah.
I don't want to see brain dead LeBron. Come on.
Yeah.
Come on. But who do you think? What celebrity? I don't care if they're athletes or actual celebrities. Who do you think would do well in a boxing or MMA setting? I think The Rock is a clear one that I think.
I think The Rock would hold his own for like a round in the UFC, right? Like I think you got to think he could.
I don't mean against necessarily professionals, but like what we're seeing with Jake Paul and Nate Robinson, who's someone that you think could train and put on an entertaining performance, whether it's in an MMA ring or octagon or a boxing ring.
Yeah. Why am I blanking on his name right now? God, the Creed kid. Why am I blanking?
Oh, Michael B. Jordan?
Yeah, Michael B. Jordan.
Great movies, by the way.
Yeah, he
kind of like those movies more than.
So there was talks that he was maybe gonna fight Roy Joe Jr. like a couple years ago, and I remember
I could definitely see him being good.
Yeah, well, he's like traded for the Creed movies. Like he at least looks like he can box. I don't know how much that translates into actual being a boxer. But he would be someone that I'd like to see.
I'm sure he's done plenty of credible because he's one of those actors that takes himself serious. So kind of like Tom Hardy did in the Fighter in Warrior. Tom Hardy did in the MMA movie. They actually went through the training so they could get natural movements that looked real because they're dedicated to it. I think Michael B. Jordan. That's a great pick. I like that pick.
Yeah,
kind of want to see it. Love the Creed movies.
Exactly. I'd love to see him actually. I think it would be fitting. Like before, I'm sure there's gonna be another Creed that comes out, right? Like there
gotta be Creed 3.
Yeah. So maybe
those movies are
maybe like instead of doing the media tour for Creed 3, he just has like a real boxing match with someone, but he kind of has to win, or then people might not go see the movie. Yeah. So
I know this guy. He used to play for the Knicks. His name's Nate Robinson.
He'll probably
get a pretty easy dub on that one. I'm just saying. I want to see Statham in an MMA ring. I think that's
Jason Statham. Yeah,
Jason Statham. I know he's getting up there in age, but I want to see the old bald dome
Yeah.
He's done some great movies, The Transporter.
Throwing kicks, dude. Yeah, whatever. Yeah. Throwing his
I think
famous
he'd be fine.
spinning heel kicks. Yeah.
He fought a megalodon. I mean, he's done some impressive things in his life.
Yeah, exactly. So, yeah, he would be a good
give me
one.
Statham in an
He'd be a
MMA
good one
ring.
to
I
see
like
him
that one.
Yeah.
I like that one.
Right.
Any more you got, or you want to talk about who you're going to fight?
Who would I fight? All right.
Yeah, so let's just go. Well, let's do it. We got to close this thing down soon anyway because we got some things to do. I got a bunch of homework to do, and I know you got some stuff to catch. So we'll wrap this thing up here in just a second. But first, I want to know if, not if, but once this becomes a huge YouTube sensation and we start our campaign for our presidency, first with Dana White and Joe Rogan, then transitioning into us by 2028. Phenomenal idea. Mm-hmm. Once we get big and people start challenging us, I want to know what celebrity you are going to take on and whether it's going to be in an MMA octagon or in a boxing ring.
I think I'm going to go boxing ring because less chance of like extreme body.
You're surviving.
To me.
You're surviving. Yeah. Okay.
Like if I get knocked out, it sucks, but it's not as bad. Let's see. We're going to go like famous celebrities. Like, does it have to be someone in my age range? Or
nope.
It
doesn't.
Sure doesn't? Okay.
Mine's not going to be.
All right. Let me get let me fight Leonardo DiCaprio, dude. Yeah.
What's your beef with Leo?
I have no beef with him, dude. I just want to meet him, man.
So you're doing this whole setup just so you can meet Leo? I don't hate it.
Like maybe we can be friends after and I can like hang out in his posse, dude. Like
you would have to compete. You'd have to earn his respect in that ring.
Yeah, no, I would. Yeah, absolutely. I don't think he like really knows how to fight. So, I mean, how many like fighting movies?
Leonardo DiCaprio being a fighter.
No,
he's never done a fighting movie.
I was like gonna say like I don't know like Ben Affleck or like Matt Damon, but they've both
those are your boys.
Yeah, but they've both been in like movies where like they've at least pretended to fight before too. So like I don't know if I really want to like fight them. They might actually know how to fight.
I mean, Batfleck, Batman. He was
Batman.
Kind of yoked for that.
I mean, Matt Damon is fucking Jason Bourne.
Jason Bourne, that's true.
I'm not gonna fight him. Yeah, that's just fucking crazy.
He's really good at slap hands. Come on, give me a break. You can take Matt Damon.
So maybe it's a bad pick, but that would be Leonardo DiCaprio.
Leo DiCaprio, I like that.
Like maybe I take a fall. Like I earn his respect, but I take the fall. But then like I'm in the pussy posse. Or
is that what it's called?
I don't know. Yeah, well, that's what it used to be called.
You foul young man.
Yeah,
I see what you're all about, and I respect it. I respect the hell out of it. So for me, all right, I started this podcast today with a pretty somber note. Going into the country music. My Cowboys causing me heartbreak. So there's only one way to cure that. Yeah. And that's to end the old man. All right, I'm putting the old man down. Brett Batchelder versus Jerry Jones in the octagon. We're doing this octagon style. I don't care if he gets 3 years to train. I'm going to break that old man, and I'm going to get all the trauma that he has caused me as a Dallas Cowboy fan. I'm just going to let it out on him with these bare knuckles, with these fisticuffs. And you know what? Maybe I'll end it with a running knee or something like that, but he's not walking out of there still breathing. And I know, threatening the emperor of all of the NFL, I probably will not be alive by the time we're supposed to record our next podcast. I'm sure they're going to send men to end me before I can end him. Yeah. But that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to teach. You remember that SpongeBob clip? How many times would I teach you this lesson, old man? That's exactly what it's going to be like. I'm not going to end him in the first round. I'm going to make a 5-round match, and I'm going to keep him upright. I'm going to keep him upright just long enough so he has to endure 25 minutes of pure punishment from a distraught, hurt, and abused Brett Batchelder. That's what's going to happen.
Okay.
That's my pick, and I think there's nothing else, no one else I need to see go down more than Jerry Jones for me to get what I want. And I hate to say it because he's a funny guy. I like Jerry Jones.
So you're going to commit elderly abuse in your fight.
I'm going to beat that old man right to hell. You understand me? That's what's going to happen. And I'm not going to feel bad about it.
Solid pick.
Cowboy Nation will be behind me. Yeah, I'm going to live. I'm not going to get a scratch on me.
Yeah.
And all this trauma, I'm going to take care of it. I think it's a good idea. I'm feeling better just thinking about it.
You're not worried about being exiled by Cowboy Nation after?
No,
like,
they're
if you
all
kill Jerry Jones, you don't think...
Cowboy fans, we like Jerry Jones because he's funny, and the things that come out of his mouth are hilarious. I mean, he talks about mosquito penises in interviews for no reason because he's Jerry Jones and he can get away with it.
Yeah.
And that's a real thing if you guys want to look that up. But real Cowboy fans, we know Jerry is the problem. He always gets in the way. He let Jason Garrett be our head coach for 10 years.
Yeah.
He's the GM. He's the guy that lets people in, out, signs Jalen Smith and Ezekiel Elliott to terrible contracts. It's all his fault.
Yeah.
This solves that problem. We go back to being American. Stephen Jones, we love Stephen.
We love Stephen.
Stephen Jones seems like he's going to be, and maybe we're just so hurt by Jerry, all we can do is pray and think and convince ourselves, just like every year we convince ourselves we're winning the Super Bowl or winning the division or winning a playoff game. We've convinced ourselves through that pain that Stephen is the light. Yeah. He is the Triple H to WWE's Vince McMahon. Once Vince is gone, maybe wrestling will get fun again. My wrestling fans will understand that one. Mm-hmm. That's what we think as Cowboy fans, and we could be totally wrong.
Yeah.
But there's only one way to find out, and I'm here to sacrifice myself to woke nation. They're all going to, he wants to beat up old man and he wants to kill him. You're goddamn right I do if it means my Cowboys get back to their glory where they're supposed to be as America's team and in the Super Bowl. So that's all I got to say about that.
All right, man. Well,
I feel good about it.
I'm happy for you.
It's almost like a therapy session, just thinking about pounding him.
Yeah, exactly. There you go.
Punching form.
There you go. Yeah, good luck with that. And yeah, I think you'd have a good shot. I think you would.
Yeah, I mean, I play to win. I'm not going to put myself up against Francis Ngannou.
Yeah.
I have a brain. I got to use that brain every once in a while. And I really got to use the brain right now because I got to go get some homework done. I know you've got some things to go take care of. So unless you have anything else, I'm ready to wrap this bad boy up.
I'm good, man.
Okay.
Good shit, yeah.
In the comments, everybody, we want to know what celebrity you would want to see us fight. Whether it's him and I fighting in a tag team or someone that Paul's going to fight, someone that I'm going to fight. Let us know in the comments who you want to see us fight, whether it's us getting our ass kicked or us kicking someone's ass, much like I'm going to do to Jerry and Paul right there is going to do to Leo. Poor Leo. Mm-hmm. So for now, though, that's going to do it for this episode of Bush League Bros Sports Talk. I'm Brett Bagshaw. That's Paul Iakis. If you haven't already, subscribe to us on the old YouTube channel. You can turn on notifications because we don't necessarily always come out with a video when we say we're going to. We're students. Life happens. But subscribe to us at Bush League Bros on the YouTube. Also, follow us on the Twitter, and Facebook. A lot of people have been following us on Facebook lately. That's pretty cool, at Bush League Bros. So until next time, ladies and gentlemen, I'm Brett Batchelder. That's Paul Iakis, and peace.
Peace.